What's going on, everybody? Project Rod here, and it is time for racing here in Detroit for the Stadium Series. Just a quick reminder, don't forget to check out my Patreon for early access and exclusive content. Link on screen and in the description below. On Boji and Monster Mutt Dalmatian, following in the footsteps of April Summers last season in Detroit, taking the high jump win in April Summers' hometown. This is the event championship leaderboards. Megalodon on top with 20 points, Dragon creeping up with 17, Blue Thunder in third. This is your current leaderboard for the point standings in the season. As you can see, Bakugan still on top, although everybody is slowly creeping up, including Dalmatian and Crush Station, who's now in second. So things are going to get interesting. I'm excited to see what's going to happen after racing today. This is the bracket for racing. Megalodon, Max D, Dragon, and Blue Thunder being the top 4 fastest qualifiers here today. So they have the bye runs to round 2, but let's go ahead and get started with round 1. It's going to be Crush Station versus Alien Invasion, the Season 1 and Season 2 Arena Series winners. Gonna battle it out and see who is gonna move on to face Megalodon. And Crush Station clipping the jump there. As you can see, they're taking a different approach today and going in at an angle instead of going straight forward like they were doing qualifying. That might have slowed them down. Alien Invasion, though, some trouble. Looks like she was outside of the race lane, and she's going wheeling into the obstacle, somersaulting forward into the barrier. So Alien Invasion is going to be out of the racing competition. Crush Station will take the easy win. Very unfortunate for Alien Invasion. Let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of what went wrong right here. I guess she turned a little too sharp, was trying to get it back lined and level with the jump, went for a wheelie afterwards, I'm sure unintentionally, which led her directly to this jump, somersaulting forward right here, slamming into the wall there. Very, very unfortunate for Alien Invasion. Hopefully everything is okay and she can return back for the rest of the competitions here today in Detroit. Let's go ahead and move on to the next race of round 1, which is going to be Northern Nightmare versus Soldier Fortune, your reigning World Finals 2 Freestyle champion. Northern Nightmare being your 2-time Stadium Series champion. Both of these drivers very elite when it comes to the sport. Brian the Dog Webb in his second season. Northern Nightmare and Alex Stevens, though, his 3rd season, and he's already making a mistake clipping the jump there. That's definitely going to be a deduction, but it looks like it was Soldier Fortune's, possibly, yes, it was his race all along anyways, so he will be moving on to round 2. Some trouble for Soldier Fortune. Brian the Dog Webb saving it after completing his run there. But Alex Stevens, 27, and Northern Nightmare making a bad mistake, unfortunately, and getting that 3-second deduction or addition to his points, or to his time. Bakugan, Dragonoid, and Gas Monkey Garage now saying what they can do. Bakugan was the fastest qualifier last time in Arlington and the racing winner, so he's definitely trying to go 2 for 2 here. Gas Monkey Garage, though, losing control, able to save it going into the barrier the same way, or the same area that Alien Invasion did. So Bakugan is the winner, wheeling afterwards, going for the container, and now he's on his roof, going over after completing the race. Gas Monkey is going to finish the race for a time. Not sure how much it's going to matter, though. Very unfortunate. Here you go. He was turning way too aggressively and set him on 2 wheels. He was in a bicycle, was able to save it, kind of twirling around on the back 2 tires and going for the barrier there, the wall. Kicked it in reverse to get it back on all 4. So luckily, I'm sure there's just minimal damage, just cosmetic, with Bakugan finishing the race, going for a wheelie straight for the container, slamming the brakes, but it was too late. He was already barreling over and on his lid. So both trucks should hopefully be okay to continue, but Bakugan Dragonoid as of now moving on to round 2. Here's the last race of round 1. Earthshaker and Monster Mutt Dalmatian, your high jump winner. Let's see who's going to move on to round 2. Earthshaker, a nice sharp turn, but Dalmatian has a little bit ahead of him. Dalmatian with the lead going into the last lap here. Earthshaker now turning too aggressively, able to save it. Not as violent of a flip as Gas Monkey, but Dalmatian looks like, yep, Dalmatian is going to take the racing win away from Earthshaker. Just bad luck, really. This track is not the easiest. This is the racing bracket for round 2 after everything that just happened in round 1. So this is not an easy track. It's a figure 8, then going back to a regular lap. And it's just that figure eight part is really what gets you, and these drivers are being very aggressive, especially after qualifying. It wasn't the easiest, it wasn't the cleanest. So I'm sure they're trying to do the best that they can. But here we go, first race of round 2, your fastest qualifier, Megalodon versus Crush Station, two sea creatures going against each other in racing. Let's see who's going to end up on top. Both looking like they're pretty even. No, Megalodon with the slight edge over Crush Station. This turn here may be the difference maker. Crush Station going for the turn first. Megalodon coming off too slow. It's going to be Crush Station getting away from this shark attack, Megalodon. So our fastest qualifier will not be getting the racing win today. It's going to go to somebody else. Up next is going to be Soldier Fortune and Max D. Your champions from World Finals 2. Soldier Fortune with the freestyle win, Max D with the racing and skills win in World Finals 2. So 2 World Finals champions going head to head. Let's see who's going to win it. Looks like Soldier Fortune already with a deduction. I'm not sure. It's going to come down to the officials on whether or not that would count. I'm not sure. I didn't quite get a good look at it. But here we go, final turn, both being really sharp. Max D, though, hitting the turn for sure, getting a penalty. So Soldier Fortune getting the win here. Now, I'm not sure if he got a penalty or not, but Max D for sure did. So we're going to have to look at the final times once racing is done. But Soldier Fortune moving on to the semifinal round to race Crush Station. Here comes Bakugan Dragonoid versus Dragon. Dragon versus Dragon. Who's going to come out on top? So far looking pretty even. Dragon getting to the finish first. Here comes the final turn, or the second to last turn. This is the final turn right here. Dragon going for it first. A nice, clean, and sharp turn. It's going to be Dragon. And Flames Plays getting the win over Bakugan Dragonoid. So he's moving on to the semifinal round. It's time to see who the last race, or the last driver going into the semifinal round is going to be. It's going to be Monster Dalmatian versus Blue Thunder, a repeat of one of the best rivalries we had in Season 1 when it was MT World Media and Blue Thunder and April Summers and Monster Dalmatian going for those racing wins, where Dalmatian ended up coming out on top. So it's great to see these two trucks racing against each other once again. It gives me so much nostalgia from Season 1. But here we go, the final turn. Who's going to race Dragon in the semifinal round? Is going to be Monster Mutt Dalmatian getting the win. Blue Thunder going for a front flip unintentionally. Monster Mutt Dalmatian is over as well. Blue Thunder doing the impossible here, doing everything he can to get that win. Was stuck in the throttle, hitting the same jump Alien Invasion did, but he got a front flip after it, and look at that, beautifully executed. It's not freestyle yet, but he's going for it. Maybe that's just a foreshadowing of what's to come in freestyle. Amazing job, even though it was unintentional, by Blue Thunder, and of just a great wow moment overall. But this is your racing bracket for the semifinal round. Here we go, first race of the semifinals. We're going to get a new racing winner since Bakugan is eliminated. So who's it going to be? Who's going to be the first truck going to the final round? It's going to be Crush Station versus Soldier Fortune here. Who's going to end up on top? Both trucks have been doing pretty well today, and really overall these drivers have what it takes to take a racing win. Soldier Fortune, though, looks like he has a slight lead over Crush Station. A nice sharp clean turn. Crush Station going a little too wide. If he can keep it clean here, and I think he did. He did keep it clean. Soldier Fortune is moving on to the final round. Crush Station on the two front tires, trying to stay on all fours and barrel rolling over. Back on all fours, a nice clean rollover, so he should be good. There should be no damages to that truck. Here we go, the last race of the semifinal round. Dalmatian versus Dragon. Who's going to face Soldier Fortune in the final round? Dalmatian, I'm not sure. That might be a penalty. You never know. I don't know if you saw that, but he did clip that jump. They're both looking pretty even, though. I don't know. Dalmatian gave a little too much in that turn. Dragon coming in first, and he will be taking the win. So Dragon moving on to the final round to go against Soldier Fortune. This is getting interesting, everybody. Don't forget to use code PROJECTRODROD to receive 10% off of your W Energy order for the W Racing Final. Soldier Fortune versus Dragon. Both trucks have been on top of their game in racing today, and I'm excited to see who's going to get the second, or their first racing win of this season, but who's going to get the second racing win of the season, at least in terms of stops. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Soldier of Fortune or Dragon? Let's find out. Both of these trucks coming from the qualifier series. Flames Plays was in Zombie last season, and Brian the Dog Webb was in Soldier of Fortune last season. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more Monster Jam content. Dragon with a slight lead, it looks like. Both of these drivers in their second year of competition. It's going to come down to this, and it's a close call. And it's going to be Dragon in Flames Plays getting his first racing win of the season, barreling over after the finish line. Here we go, going for some celebration donuts. But Dragon is your racing winner here in Detroit, getting the next set of 12 crucial points. So this is your racing bracket after it is all said and done. Dragon on top, an amazing outing for Dragon in Flames Plays. And look at that, he just took the lead for the overall championship over Megalodon. So he is now in the lead with 29 points, looking good going into skills. This is the leaderboard after racing. Bakugan still on top, Dragon slowly creeping up. Nothing much has really changed. Northern Nightmare still on the bottom, and this is very worrisome for the two-time champ. So we're going to have to wait and see what skills brings us. It's going to be the next competition here in Detroit, so be sure to stay tuned for skills. Don't forget to check out my Patreon for early access and exclusive content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in skills.